From Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, it's almost time for Rockford Rivets baseball. Today, the Rivets look to snap a 3-game losing streak against the 11-7 Wisconsin Woodchucks. Good morning or good afternoon now, everybody, and happy Father's Day. It's Larry Larson in with you today and all season long on the Rockford Rivets radio network. The Rivets enter today's matchup with a record of 8-11, 3 games under 500, thanks to a 3-game losing skid, and they've certainly run into a little bit of trouble here at Athletic Park. In last night's ball game, the Rivets lost a pitcher's duel by a score of 2-1. It was another tough one for the Rivets, back-to-back one-run losses, and last night they fell in the hands of Ryan Lobis, who went 7 innings, surrendering just 1 hit. And then Thomas Kane slammed the door on the Rivets, who tried to make it close in the 9th inning, entering the inning going 2-0, or down 2-0. The Rivets managed 1 run, but tied the tying run, or left the tying run on third base when Cam McDonald flied out to center field. So that was another tough loss for the Rivets, as they stand in 4th place in the Great Lakes East standings with that record of 8-11, 5.5 games back now of the red-hot Traverse City Pittsbitters, who entered today's action 13-5 with a 4-game winning streak. And somebody's got to catch those Pittsbitters sooner rather than later if they're not going to go on to win the division. Taking a look at the complete Great Lakes East standings, Traverse City in first, Kenosha the next closest team at 10-9, 3.5 games back. Kokomo is 1 game ahead of Rockford at 9-10, 4.5 back. Rockford at 8-11, Battle Creek in 5th at 7-11. They're on a 5-game losing streak, which was started by the Rivets. And Kalamazoo is in last at 7-12, 6.5 games back. Taking a look at the Great Lakes West, the division that the Wisconsin Woodchucks are on top of entering today, with a record of 11-7. Fond du Lac is close behind at 11-8. Lakeshore losing 2 games to Kalamazoo last night. They're in 3rd at 10-9. Wisconsin Rapids also at 10-9. Green Bay at 8-10 in 5th, and Madison at 8-11. An uncharacteristic last place for the Mallards. The West is very close, as all teams are within 3.5 games. It's a little bit of a different story in the Great Lakes East. The Rivets will look to creep a little bit closer today. First pitch set for 1:05 between the Rivets and Woodchucks. Game 2 of 4 games between these squads in 2020. These two teams will have another 2-game series in Rockford on July 10th and 11th. Let's take a look at today's pitching matchup. It'll be the lefty Nate Madej going for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. He's a redshirt sophomore from Florida Southern College who played for the Woodchucks last year. This spring at Florida Southern, he went 39 2/3 innings pitched, surrendering a 5.22 ERA, 48 strikeouts to 25 walks, so he's got good strikeout stuff and good control. The Rivets saw Madej last season. In the final 2 weeks of the season, Madej had a phenomenal outing against the Rivets, going 7 innings, allowing 2 hits, 2 earned runs on August 11th. We'll tell you a little bit more about that start later on in the broadcast. For the Rivets, it's going to be Ryan O'Reilly, the graduated right-hander from UIC, making his Northwoods League debut today, or his 2021 Northwoods League debut. O'Reilly played for Fond du Lac in 2017, made 4 appearances, pitched 4 innings, surrendered just 1 earned run, so he's had a little bit of success in this league before. And of course, Fond du Lac would go on to win the 2017 title. O'Reilly this spring for the UIC Flames pitched 68 innings, posted a record of 4-5 with an ERA of 6.09, 30 walks, 253 strikeouts. So we'll see if he can keep those walk totals down today against a Woodchucks lineup that hasn't posted much offense so far in this series. Of course, in the 1 game, they scored 2 runs on 7 hits, leaving 6 on base. Taking a look at the scenery today in Athletic Park, it's overcast and cloudy. Comfortable temperature of 71 degrees. There is a little bit of rain in the forecast, but examining the weather radar, it looks like the rain may or may not miss Athletic Park. There's some rain to the north, some rain to the southwest. We'll see if it moves into the area. It is a very shallow ballpark at Athletic Park. 304 down the left field line, 360 to dead center, and 316 down the right field line. All the walls are very high, though, so you got to elevate a pitch very well to hit it out of the ballpark. And if you hit one out to left field, it lands on 3rd Street, which is immediately beyond the left field wall. Fun feature here at Athletic Park, an 85-year-old stadium here in the Northwoods League. It's an all real grass surface along with all dirt, which is becoming increasingly rare these days. We're about 4 or 5 minutes away from first pitch here at Athletic Park. Rivets and Woodchucks wrapping up a brief 2-game series. After this series wraps up for the Rivets, they're going to return to Rivets Stadium, where they will play 8 of their next 10 games. So the Rivets really trying their hardest to end this road trip on a high note and get some positive momentum before playing a really large stretch of games at home. Of course, it's going to be a big stretch. We're at game number 20 of the season, so over the halfway point of the first half, and the Rivets are well out of playoff contention at the moment. 5.5 games back of Traverse City, who's in first place, and the division winners in each half get a spot in the playoffs. So if the Rivets want to clinch that first half spot, they got to get a move on and start winning some ball games. They enter today's action 3 games under 500. We're going to step aside and take a brief break and come back with baseball and the starting lineups after this on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Almost time for the Rockford Rivets to take on the Wisconsin Woodchucks. Rivets working to snap a 3-game losing skid. And here's their starting lineup, turned in by manager J.T. Scara. It'll be Josue Urdaneta in the top spot. A switch hitter will be the only batter in the lineup capable of batting left-handed today. He's in the top spot and playing second base. Tyler Hawkins bats second. He's in center field. Brian Fuentes is the 3-batter at first base. Cam McDonald will play third. Jared Cushing bats fifth. He's at shortstop. Jake Donahue is in the 6th hole. He's going to be out in left field today. Grant McGill is the catcher. He bats 7th. Peter Fusick is batting 8th. He's today's DH. And Max Malley, the sophomore from Evansville, rounds it out, batting 9th and playing right field. As for the Woodchucks, here's their starting order. They're managed by Corey Thompson. Wisconsin in first place in the Great Lakes West Division. Jordan Schaefer is the leadoff batter, playing second base. Bash Randall did not play yesterday. He's back in the order today, batting second. And playing shortstop, C.J. Kafis, the freshman from Miami, is at first base. Griffin Lockwood Powell is the DH. He's the cleanup batter. Gino Groover making his summer debut. The freshman from Charlotte is in left field. Bryson Hill is at third base. Colton Vincent is the catcher, batting seventh. Tommy Delgado is out in right field. And Tyler Kehoe came into the game as a pinch runner last night, and today he gets the starting nod. The freshman from Liberty is in center field. That's the lineup in the defense behind the left-handed pitcher, Nate Madej, who stands at 6'1", 205 pounds, a native of Lamont, Illinois, but attends college at Florida Southern College in the Sunshine State. The warm-ups are about wrapped up. It's a cloudy, overcast, but comfortable day in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. Rivets and Woodchucks entering the final game of a two-game series. Game 2 of 4 between these squads this season. Rivets looking to salvage this road trip. Josue Urdaneta approaches the right-handed batter's box, sporting blue batting gloves. Rivets in their dark gray traveling uniforms with gold lettering and gold numbers. Wisconsin in their home white pants with alternate green tops with gold lettering. Madej from the windup fires the first pitch to Urdaneta, and it's in for a called strike right on time at 1:05 Central Time. Thanks for joining us on your Father's Day. Madej brings his glove to his waist, kicks and delivers the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1. Pitch at 87 miles per hour. Madej transferring from University of Southern Alabama to Florida Southern College. His 1-1 pitch swung on and chopped on the ground foul up the third base line near the Chucks dugout, and the count is 1-2. In yesterday's Rivets 2-1 loss, Josue went 1 for 4 with a single. He's yet to strike out as a Rivet in 3 games. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Nate Madej records a strikeout, sets down Urdaneta on strikes for the first time this season. And that's the first out of the ball game today. Rivets and Woodchucks scoreless, just getting underway. And Tyler Hawkins steps in the right-handed batter's box. Hawkins, the redshirt freshman from Louisville, entering action with a .255 batting average. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball down the chute, taken for strike 1. Madej pumping it in there at 88. Hawkins was 1 for 4 yesterday with 2 strikeouts. 0-1 delivery. Off speed, down the middle again, taken for a called strike 2. Hawkins not as aggressive as he was earlier this season, laying off pitches early in counts. Here's the 0-2 offering. Swung on and hammered into left field on a line. That is a 1-out single for Tyler Hawkins. It's a 2-strike base hit. Hawkins got a breaking ball out over the heart, and he pulled it to the left side, and the Rivets have their first hit of the day in the top of the first inning. The Rivets had just 1 hit through 8 innings yesterday, looking to improve upon that mark today. Here's Brian Fuentes with a runner on, scoreless in the top half of the first, and the first pitch to him is a fastball on the inner black, taken for a called strike 1. Fuentes was in the lineup yesterday. The redshirt freshman from Indiana State went 0 for 3. He's batting .233. Madej steps over to pick off Hawkins, and the throw is not in time, but the Woodchucks thought they got him. Madej with a sneaky move. Of course, he's a left-hander. Hawkins was not expecting the throw over. Madej almost started moving towards the plate. Caught Hawkins leaning, but the tag was not in time. Hawkins with another big lead. Madej sets at the waist and comes home with the 0-1. Swung on and fouled straight back into the screen. The count is 0-2. Hawkins does have stolen base speed on first base. He's swiped 3 bags this season. Fuentes has 2 RBIs. He adjusts his batting gloves and toes the back line of the chalked right-handed batter's box. Madej sets. Here's his 0-2 pitch. Off speed, called strike 3. It was down the middle. It was a delayed strike 3 call from home plate umpire Perry Swartz. The umpiring crew today, Perry Swartz behind the plate, Jeff Osborne at third base, and Spencer Kim at first. 2 strikeouts for Nate Madej in the first inning, and there's 2 down with a runner on first base for Cam McDonald. Scoreless in the top half of the first. Lefty on righty, and the first pitch to McDonald misses outside. Cam made a pinch hit appearance yesterday with the game on the line in the top half of the 9th inning with Hawkins on third base, and Cam barreled one up, but straight at the center fielder for the final out of the game. The 1-0, sent into right field, but right at Tommy Delgado, the right fielder, who backpedals and makes the grab. And the inning is over. The Rivets manage a 1-out single from Tyler Hawkins, but can't do anything with it. And after a half, it's the Rivets nothing and the Woodchucks coming up on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the first inning in Wausau, Wisconsin. Scoreless between the Rockford Rivets and the Wisconsin Woodchucks. A little interdivision action. Rivets in the Great Lakes East and the Woodchucks in the Great Lakes West. The Chucks are atop that division. Rivets in 4th place, sliding on a 3-game losing streak. It'll be Ryan O'Reilly taking the ball for the Rivets today, looking to snap that skid, making his Northwoods League 2021 debut. O'Reilly, just recently graduating from Illinois Chicago, stands at 6'3", 205. He steps on the rubber. On the left side, working from the windup to the leadoff batter, Jordan Schaefer, the redshirt junior from Indiana State. And the first pitch paints the outer black, a fastball at 88. For strike 1. Schaefer was 1 for 3 in yesterday's Woodchucks victory. O'Reilly holds his tan glove in front of his face and fires the 0-1. He yanks a fastball, spiked in the dirt in front of the left-handed batter's box, and it's 1-1. Bad miss from O'Reilly early on. O'Reilly has had an interesting summer so far, just joining the Rivets earlier this week. Here's his 1-1 to Schaefer. Fastball misses inside, and the count is 2-1. But O'Reilly was scheduled to make his first start on Thursday, but ran into some trouble as he was actually under contract with the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders. 2-1. Fastball misses inside again, and it's 3-1. But O'Reilly played for the Dock Spiders in 2017, but was apparently still under contract with them. And so he had to clear waivers before he could make his start with the Rivets, and he cleared waivers on Saturday morning. The 3-1, a fastball line to shortstop, and Cushing bobbles it, and he can't make the play. That'll be scored an error on the shortstop, Cushing. And the Woodchucks have their first base runner with their first batter of the ball game. Bottom of the first, Rivets and Chucks scoreless. And here's Bash Randall, the freshman from Abilene Christian. Today's shortstop for the Chucks. Did not play yesterday. But O'Reilly got cleared to make his start yesterday. So he got penciled into the lineup card today. Dealing with a bit of adversity to start his summer. And of course, baseball players are creatures of habit. They've got their routines, so that probably threw off his routine a little bit. First pitch, called strike on the inner half to Randall, and it's 0-1. Bash is hitting .278 so far for the Woodchucks. Native of Rockwall, Texas. Batted .305 for ACU in 55 games this spring. O'Reilly sets at the belt. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses outside. McGill snags it and gives a look at Schaefer down at first base. The count is 1-1. Two Sycamores having a little fun. Schaefer being held on by fellow Indiana Stater Brian Fuentes at first. O'Reilly gives him a look. Comes set. Kicks and delivers the 1-1. Swung on and popped foul off to the right side, out of play. And it's 1-2. The sun is not shining whatsoever here in Wausau. Gray overcast skies, but it's comfortable. Temperature around 70 degrees. Dark clouds beyond the left field wall. Rain in the forecast, but we'll see if it plays a factor. O'Reilly ready to go for the 1-2 pitch. Shakes off Grant McGill. Gives a look at the runner. Now comes set. The pause and the 1-2 offering. Fastball misses down and away, and it's 2-2. Bash Randall, without a doubt, has the most unique name in this ball game. Certainly in this Wisconsin Woodchucks order. His full name is not Bash, but that's what it's listed as on the roster. Throw over to first base, not in time. Schaefer back without a slide. But looking at Abilene Christian's website and Bash Randall's picture on the website, he looks like Matthew McConaughey. And the similarity is a little startling. 2-2 to Randall, swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. And that is out number 1. Randall is set down on strikes, runner on first base, and one away for C.J. Kafis.
The first baseman, C.J. Kafis.
Kafis, the freshman from Miami, is 2 for 4, or was 2 for 4 yesterday with an RBI, one of 3 lefties in this Chucks order today. Leans back in the left-handed batter's box. And here's the first pitch to him. Fastball catches the outer half, taken for a called strike 1. Kafis, a native of Florida, stands at 5'11", 180 in the left-handed batter's box. Played in 40 games for the Hurricanes. Just 57 at-bats, though, this spring, but hit 3 homers. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on and tap back to the pitcher. O'Reilly goes behind the back, throws to second for 1, on to first in time. What a double play turned by Ryan O'Reilly and the Rivets infield. O'Reilly snags it behind the back and goes 1-6-3, and the inning is over. Somebody call ESPN. After 1, we're scoreless on the Rockford Rivets radio network. Going to the top of the second inning in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rivets and Wisconsin Woodchucks tied at 0. Rivets trying to break a 3-game losing skid. They'll send up 5, 6, 7 in the order, starting with Jared Cushing, who's 0 for 2 in yesterday's ball game with a walk. The redshirt freshman from Xavier stares out at the lefty Nate Madej, works from the windup, and delivers the first pitch. Fastball misses low and away to the 6'3 Cushing, and it's 1-0. Jared has struggled mightily on the road. He's now just 1 for 22 away from Rivet Stadium this season. The kick and the 1-0. Fastball over the heart of the plate that time, and it's 1-1. But Cushing enters today's matchup with a batting average of 190. 1-1 from Madej. Another fastball taken over the heart of the plate, and it's 1-2. Cushing steps out of the box, tucks in the front of his jersey a little bit, steps back in. Madej holding the glove out in front of his face, brings it down to the waist, and delivers the 1-2 pitch. Slow breaking ball tapped foul up the third base side. And we'll have another 1-2. Madej's windup is very unique. He starts from the left side of the rubber and holds the ball in his glove above his face, and then brings the glove down to his waist where he carries it until he fires the pitch, and the 1-2 misses high and away. But it reminds me a little bit of Trevor Bauer's strikeout celebration where he pretends to tuck the sword in his waist. 2-2. Fastball outside, gets to the backstop by the catcher Colton Vincent, and the count is full at 3-2. It almost does look like Madej's sticking a sword in a holster of sorts. Takes a breath and now delivers the payoff pitch to Jared Cushing. Swung on and lifted foul down the first base side, well out of play and out of Athletic Park. Athletic Park, a small stadium in terms of field dimensions as well as the seating area. It's in the middle of a neighborhood. Very unique location. Another payoff. Swing and a miss. Madej sets down Jared Cushing on strikes. That's the lefty's third strikeout in just 1 1/3 so far. And the bases are empty for Jake Donahue. We're scoreless in the top half of the second inning. Donahue, the freshman from Central Michigan, has had some success so far this season for the Rivets. He's got a 5-game hit streak, batting .333 with an on-base percentage of .500. First pitch to the righty. Fastball down the middle, called strike 1. Madej's velocity is consistently in the high 80s so far. Fastball sitting 87, 88. The kick and the 0-1 pitch. Misses outside, pops the mid of Vincent, and it's 1-1. Madej rocking the high black socks with the dark green alternate jersey. Dark green caps as well. The 1-1. Curveball misses inside a little bit. It's a good pitch from Madej. 80 miles per hour, and the count is 2-1. Donahue steps out of the box, looks at his bat a little bit, now climbs back in. And the 2-1 pitch. Changeup misses outside, and the count is 3-1. But in batting practice yesterday, Donahue was exclaiming how much he liked the bat he has. Said there's a lot of juice in it, and that's not the case with all these Northwoods League bats this season. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Called strike on a curveball on the inner half. Donahue started working towards first base, but now the count is full at 3-2. Madej grabs some dirt, holds the baseball in his left hand, and steps on the rubber. Here's another payoff pitch. Back-to-back batters facing 3-2, and the pitch misses downstairs, and it's ball 4. Rivets have a base runner for the second consecutive inning as Grant McGill steps up. Rivets nothing, Woodchucks nothing. Top half of the second. Woodchucks taking yesterday's matchup in a pitcher's duel. 2-1. McGill did not play yesterday. The redshirt freshman from Indiana State sports a batting average of .231 so far. First pitch to the right-handed batter. Fastball down and away, kicks up some dust, and Colton Vincent stops it. And it's 1-0. McGill wearing the royal blue batting gloves, colors of Indiana State. 1-0 to him. Fastball called strike in the upper away corner of the zone. McGill nods his head at the home plate umpire. Donahue with good enough speed to steal on first base. He's got a big lead on the lefty Madej. Madej gives him a look and now throws over to first base, and Donahue's back without a slide. Nice Sunday crowd on hand at Athletic Park in the heart of Wausau. We saw over 1,600 here last night. 1-1 pitch to McGill. Swung on and pulled foul down the third base side, and it's 1-2. McGill has yet to strike out this summer. Catchers almost always have good plate discipline just because they're so familiar with the strike zone. They watch the ball come in more than anybody. The pause and the 1-2 from Nate Madej. Swung on and chopped foul up the third base line. Rolls beside the Woodchucks third base dugout. And we'll have another 1-2. Madej plays with the rosin bag on the back of the rubber. Rubs up the baseball a little bit. As Donahue takes his lead on first base. Here's another 1-2 to Grant McGill. It's on the way. Down and away. Stopped by Vincent. Donahue back to first base, and the count is 2-2. McGill takes a check swing, taps the plate twice, adjusts his black batting helmet, stares out at Madej. The kick and the 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike three. McGill got a piece of the curveball, sent it right into the glove of Vincent. And that's K number 4 for Nate Madej through 1 2/3. And there's 2 down for the 8-batter Peter Fusick. Donahue remains on first base as the Rivets and Woodchucks remain scoreless in the top of the second. Fusick, the freshman from Milwaukee Area Technical College, did not see action yesterday. First pitch, and instead it's a pickoff throw to first base. Donahue back safely. Fusick, the DH today, with a batting average of 167. 4 walks, 7 strikeouts for the big and burly right-handed batter. Now the first pitch to him. Fastball called strike on the inner half. Fusick thought it was inside, but it's 0-1. Fusick batted over 400 this spring for Milwaukee Area Tech for head coach Zach Charbonneau. 0-1. Swung on and poked into center field. That sends Kehoe back. He's in front of the track and reaches above his head to make the catch, and the inning is over. Nate Madej once again works around a Rivets base runner. Rivets can't make anything of a walk by Jake Donahue as we go to the bottom of the second. It's Rivets nothing, Woodchucks nothing on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Rivets and Wisconsin Woodchucks tied at nothing as we go to the bottom of the second inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard around the Northwoods League today. Kokomo ahead of Green Bay early at Kokomo Municipal Stadium in the top of the second inning. Fond du Lac ahead of Madison in the first at Hare Baker Field in Fond du Lac. Kenosha in front of Battle Creek in the bottom of the second at Simmons Field. Kalamazoo and Lakeshore set to get underway in 5 minutes at Capco Park. Traverse City and Wisconsin Rapids scheduled for 5:05 Eastern tonight in Michigan. We'll have another update on that later. Ryan O'Reilly steps in to face 4-5-6 in the Woodchucks order, starting with Griffin Lockwood Powell. And he takes a fastball for a called strike one. Lockwood Powell, the redshirt junior from Central Michigan, a draft prospect. Might only be here in Wausau for a week or two. 0-1. Curveball kicks up some dust, taken outside for ball one. Powell played yesterday, was 1 for 2 with an RBI, a sac fly in the first off Jace Warkentine. Rivets would lose 2-1. O'Reilly kicks and deals the 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses high above the letters to the big right-handed batter Lockwood Powell. Lockwood Powell, a native of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, standing at 6'2", 220. The kick in the 2-1, pulled on the ground past third base and past the diving Cam McDonald into left. Jake Donahue over to cut it off. His throw goes to second. Lockwood slides in safely. It's a leadoff double in the bottom of the second for Griffin Lockwood Powell. And the Woodchucks look to strike first for the second time in this two-game set. Rivets pitching always seems unable to keep runs off the board in the first or second inning. The Screws have allowed 49 tallies in the first or second so far this season, including one yesterday. O'Reilly looking to avoid that same fate. No outs. Here's Gino Groover, the freshman from Charlotte, righty on righty in the first pitch. Splits the plate, taken for a called strike one. Groover just arriving in town today, did not play for the Woodchucks yesterday. Played for a Charlotte Miners team that made the College World Series. 0-1 pitch, high chopper to shortstop. Cushing charges, throws off balance, in time to first base. A nice play by Cushing, recovering from a first inning error. Score at 6-3, and there's one down. Runner on second base for Bryson Hill, the redshirt sophomore from Abilene Christian. Was 0 for 3 in yesterday's contest. Rivets and Woodchucks in a scoreless ball game in the bottom of the second. Each team with one hit. O'Reilly stands on the rubber. Gets the sign from McGill, comes set at the belt. Pauses, gives a look at the runner and fires the first pitch. Liner up the middle and through into center field. Lockwood Powell's gonna get the stop sign at third base. Hawkins fumbles it in center and quickly whips it home. But it's cut off by Brian Fuentes by the pitcher's mound. Could have been trouble, but Hawkins made a good throw, and Lockwood Powell had the stop sign on at third the whole entire time. He moves up 90 feet on the single by Bryson Hill, his first hit of this series. Here's the 7-batter Colton Vincent, redshirt sophomore from Florida State. Batting 200, entering today with just one RBI. Righty on righty. Hill with a good lead off first base. Lockwood Powell steps away from the bag at third. Ryan O'Reilly, the right-hander, comes set, and he steps off to check on Hill at first base. He's back safely. Vincent did not play yesterday. O'Reilly sets and now delivers the first pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. Vincent was right on the fastball, and it's 0-1. A fly ball to the outfield would likely score a run. But you never know, has to be deep enough to score Powell from third, and he doesn't run the best. Lockwood Powell, a catcher by position. Not far off the bag right now. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and poked into right field, through for a base hit. Griffin Lockwood Powell comes home to score. Bryson Hill moves up to second base, and it's an RBI single by Colton Vincent, and the Woodchucks lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Hit parade for the Chucks here early, 3 hits in the frame. And the threat is far from over as Tommy Delgado, the redshirt sophomore from Loyola Marymount, climbs in. Rivets have now hit 50 runs allowed in the first 2 innings of games this season. Anybody in that dugout will tell you that's far from ideal. O'Reilly working from the left side of the rubber. Comes set. Takes a breath, and the first pitch. Misses down and away and gets through McGill. Both runners move up 90. McGill gets a bad break. He thought he had it stopped and then couldn't find the baseball. So a base hit can increase the Woodchucks' lead to 3-0. Rivets infield comes in before the 1-0 pitch. Ryan O'Reilly could use a strikeout. He had 1 back in the first inning, set down Bash Randall on strikes. He sets at the belt. And the 1-0 to Tommy Delgado. Misses high. And it's ball 2. Delgado standing at 5'10" in the right-handed batter's box. Hails from Laverne, California. Not a lot of Wisconsinites on this Chucks roster. A lot of players from far-flung places. 2-0. Swung on and sent into right field. That one drops for a hit. Bryson Hill around third to score. Vincent right behind him. He crosses home plate. And it's a 2 RBI single by Tommy Delgado. And the score is 3-0 Woodchucks in the bottom of the second. More early trouble for Rockford.
Now batting the center fielder.
O'Reilly's command has been good, but he's just been getting knocked around. Brings up the 9 batter, Tyler Kehoe, the redshirt freshman from Liberty. No mound visit yet from the Rivets first base dugout. Delgado takes his lead over on first base, being held on by Fuentes. Rivets infield now at double play depth. O'Reilly pauses. And the first pitch. Swung on and pulled into right field again for another single. Delgado stops at second base, and it's 4 straight hits for the Woodchucks in the bottom of the second inning. And now Doug Coe is going to call time and come out for a mound visit with Ryan O'Reilly. 5 hits in the Woodchucks' second inning. Rivets trailing 3-0 after O'Reilly worked a scoreless first. The wheels have come off the wagon in the second. RBI single from Colton Vincent, scoring the first run, and then a 2 RBI base knock by Tommy Delgado is the damage so far. Top of the order, and Jordan Schaefer coming up as Coe continues to discuss with the Rivets infield. Rivets have now allowed at least 1 run in the first or second in 15 games this season. 15 of 20. It is quite remarkable, frankly. At some point you'd expect that trend to stop, but it just keeps on going. Rivets playing from behind in almost every game. Entering today's contest on a 3-game losing streak. All those losses on the road in the state of Wisconsin, or 2 of them. First one came at home against the Lakeshore Chinooks. First pitch to Jordan Schaefer. Breaking ball misses low and outside for ball 1. Schaefer reached on an error in the first inning. Hit a ball sharply to shortstop, but Jared Cushing couldn't handle it. He was cut down on a double play. Pause and the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball stopped in the dirt again, taken for ball 2. Schaefer plays for the Indiana State Sycamores, and it seems like all the Indiana State players that the Rivets have faced have done damage against their squad. Aaron Beck plays for Battle Creek. He had a few RBIs against the Rivets in the Rockford and Battle Creek series a few days ago. O'Reilly turns to check on the runner Delgado, who's back to the bag without a throw. And then Mike Sears, the redshirt sophomore from Indiana State for Lakeshore, hit a game-tying 2-run home run in the 7th in the Rivets' 4-3 loss at Lakeshore the other day. 2-0, fastball paints the outer black, taken for a called strike 1, and it's 2-1. Rivets losing 11-7 to Lakeshore on Thursday night, and then 4-3 at Lakeshore on Friday night, and 2-1 to the Woodchucks here yesterday. The 2-1, breaking ball misses outside, and it's 3-1. O'Reilly trying to avoid his first walk. He's already surrendered 5 hits in the inning, along with 3 runs. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and off the glove of the third baseman, McDonald, into left field. Delgado stops at third, and that is a 5th straight single for the Woodchucks in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Now batting the shortstop.
Hard hit liner just off the webbing of Cam McDonald. And the bases are juiced for Bash Randall, the freshman from Abilene Christian. Randall struck out swinging in the 1st inning. Tommy Delgado on 3rd, Tyler Kehoe on 2nd, Jordan Schaefer on 1st base. Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 3-0 early. O'Reilly gets the sign. Righty on righty matchup. And the first pitch on the way. Curveball in there for a called strike. Dropped a little bit from the graduate of UIC in Chicago. Quickly gets the baseball back. Holds it in his glove, sporting the rec specs on the mound. Always good to have eye protection. 0-1 from O'Reilly. Breaking ball in the dirt, blocked by McGill. Randall thought about going around on it, did not, and it's 1-1. Looking down the line in the Rivets bullpen, nobody up quite yet. O'Reilly's got to be careful of reaching that 35 single inning pitch limit. He's at 20 right now. 1-1 offering to Randall. Fastball down and away. For ball 2, and the count is 2-1. Randall has 3 RBIs on the campaign. He's slugging .500. So maybe that's why they call him Bash. We'll see if he can get into a baseball here. Ryan O'Reilly trying to avert further damage. 2-1 pitch on the way. Fastball down. It was over the plate, but it missed for ball 3. O'Reilly needs a strikeout or a ground ball. Rivets have a force anywhere with Woodchucks on every station. Randall adjusts himself, steps back into the box. Close to home plate on the right side, holds the bat over his head. And the 3-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off the mitt of McGill. That's 3-2. Randall tightens his purple batting gloves. Purple and white to be exact, the colors of Abilene Christian in Texas. Count is full on the Woodchucks shortstop. Big pitch coming up from Ryan O'Reilly. He sets. Here's the payoff. Misses high. And O'Reilly walks in a run. Tommy Delgado comes in to score from third base, and the score is 4-0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. First walk issued by O'Reilly, excuse me. Comes at an inopportune time. Kehoe moves up to third. Schaefer to second. Randall on first for C.J. Kafis, the freshman from Miami. Grounded into a 1-6-3 double play back in the first. First pitch, swung on and lined into left center field. Long run for Hawkins, long run for Donahue, and that's off the wall. Kehoe comes home to score. Schaefer's right behind him. Bash Randall gets the stop sign at third base, and it's a 2 RBI double for C.J. Kafis. The line keeps on moving for the Wisconsin Woodchucks in the second inning. 7 straight batters reaching, 6 of them on hits. Jordan Schaefer on third base, Bash Randall on second, as the Woodchucks have officially batted around as Griffin Lockwood Powell steps up. He started the frame with a double. Righty on righty in the first pitch. Misses in the dirt outside for ball 1. So much early trouble for the Rivets this season. Tale as old as time, it seems. O'Reilly from the stretch, looks at the runner on third base. Comes home with the 1-0. Fastball swung on and missed. Count is 1-1. Lockwood Powell, the big right-handed bat. Looks calm and composed, slow and deliberate movements in the right-handed batter's box. Stares out at O'Reilly, and he steps off, and now he waves out Grant McGill for a mound meeting. Doug Coe has already been out for a mound visit for the Rivets earlier in this frame, and now there's action going in the Rivets bullpen. Can't tell who it is quite yet, but we'll work on getting a number. McGill done with his discussion with O'Reilly. Rivets behind 6-0 in the bottom of the second inning. 7 hits in the frame for the Woodchucks. Lockwood Powell batting for the second time. The count is 1-1. O'Reilly sets. And the pitch. Breaking ball misses low, and the count is 2-1. First base is empty after a 2 RBI double by C.J. Kafis. He stands on second base. Bash Randall stands on third. Long pause and the 2-1 delivery. Check swing from Lockwood Powell, and he got a piece of it into the glove of McGill. Lockwood Powell didn't mean to go around, but nonetheless the count is 2-2. Still just 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. O'Reilly gets the sign. Comes set. And now comes home with a 2-2. Foul ball off the net, and we'll have another 2-2 pitch. O'Reilly now at 30 pitches in the inning. Has just 5 more to work with before he is forced to come out before the next inning. Looking like the Rivets bullpen is going to have a long day once again. O'Reilly sets. Here's another 2-2. Swung on and another foul back. And Griffin Lockwood Powell is doing the Rivets pitching staff no favors, taxing O'Reilly here now at 31 pitches in the frame, 43 overall. O'Reilly got off to an efficient start in the first, tossing just 12 pitches. O'Reilly sporting red cleats, one of the colors of the UIC Flames, where he just graduated from. Another 2-2. Swing and another foul ball. Got a piece of Lockwood Powell in the right-handed batter's box. And O'Reilly will almost certainly have to come out of this game before starting the third inning. It's happened to the Rivets a handful of times this season. Big innings, almost always either in the first or second. O'Reilly from the stretch in an open stance. Here's his third straight 2-2 delivery and another foul ball. This time off to the right side, out of the stadium. And Lockwood Powell is fouled off 4 straight. Got to be frustrating for the Rivets dugout to watch. Pitch number 33 of the bottom of the second inning coming up. Rivets behind 6-0, all 6 runs for the Woodchucks in this inning. Yet another 2-2 delivery. Misses in the dirt. Tried to go to the breaking ball. Lockwood Powell laid off, and the count is full at 3-2. O'Reilly rubs up the baseball. Bash Randall on third base, C.J. Kafis on second. First base is open for the time being. O'Reilly fires the payoff pitch. Line to short, fielded on a backhand by Cushing. Long throw in time to first base. Randall comes in to score.
35 pitches. 35.
And the new score is 7-0. A 7 spot for the Woodchucks in the bottom of the second inning. Kafis remains on second base. And after a long at-bat, Lockwood Powell is the second out of the second inning. And here's Gino Groover, who grounded out to short for the first out. Way back in the second at-bat of the second inning. O'Reilly gets on the rubber, facing what could be his last batter today. He's hit 35 pitches in the inning, so he can't start the third for Rockford. First pitch, swung on and hit well down the left field line, and that one bounces directly off the wall. C.J. Kafis chugs around third. He comes home to score. It's an RBI double by Gino Groover in his first game as a Wisconsin Woodchuck. It's now 8-0 in the bottom of the second. Things going from bad to worse, and JT Scara is out of the Rivets dugout, and he signals to the bullpen. And the new pitcher is going to come on for the Rockford Rivets. Scara takes the ball from O'Reilly, gives him a pat on the back as he walks with his head up to the first base dugout. Rivets trail 8-0 with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. And the new pitcher is Elijah Sanchez out of Northern Illinois. We'll have the details on him after a short break on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, where the Rivets have yet to get out of the bottom half of the second inning with 8 runs in and a runner on second base. JT Scara pulls Ryan O'Reilly after 1 2/3, and brings on Elijah Sanchez, the right-hander out of Northern Illinois University. He's a native of Rockford, and in 7 innings, he surrendered an ERA of 5.14, struck out 4, walked 5, allowed 4 earned runs on 7 hits. His last 2 outings have been scoreless, however, in 3 innings, 2 against the Fond du Lac Dock Spiders last Sunday, and 1 against the Battle Creek Bombers on June 15th. He'll face the left-hander Bryson Hill, who singled earlier this inning, came around to score. Sanchez looks in for the sign from Grant McGill, working from the stretch, sets above the letters. And here's the first pitch, swing and a miss on a nice breaking ball at 68 miles per hour. Tied uphill a little bit on the inside part of the zone, and it's 0-1. Hill's single started a parade of 5 straight 1-baggers for the Woodchucks. 0-1 offering. Fastball misses down in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Gino Groover standing on second base after an RBI double to score CJ Kafis from second base. Took me a moment. My scorecard's a bit of a mess. Gets to be that way whenever a team bats around. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and popped up a mile high on the first base side. The second baseman, Urdaneta, calls off Fuentes and makes the play, and the bottom of the second inning is mercifully over. But 8 runs on 8 hits come across to score for the Wisconsin Woodchucks. And as we go to the 3rd inning, it's Woodchucks 8, Rivets nothing on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Headed to the top of the 3rd inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, with the Rivets now behind 8-0 after 8 runs come in to score in the bottom of the 2nd inning off of Ryan O'Reilly, whose ERA will now be astronomical after getting through just 1 2/3. Max Malley starts off the top half of the 3rd, and he takes outside. Ball 1. Malley, the 9 batter in the Rivets order, sophomore from Evansville, did not play yesterday, has a batting average of 154. Nate Madej deals the 1-0, and Malley pops it up. Behind the plate in foul territory, Vincent over near the track in front of the Rivets dugout, and he drops it. was a long run for him and could not make the catch waist high. And that is strike one. Malley examines his bat.
Now playing shortstop for the Woodchucks, number 13, Jose Izarra.
We've got a defensive substitution for the Chucks in the third. Jose Izarra into play shortstop for Bash Randall. 1-1, slow breaking ball misses upstairs to Malley, and it's 2-1. Izarra, a freshman from Miami. Next pitch from Madej, misses downstairs. And it's 3-1. Madej working quickly and delivers. Swing and a miss, he got him. And that was, the previous pitch was strike two, caught the bottom of the zone. And that is strikeout number 5 for Nate Madej, and out number 1 of the third inning.
Second baseman, Josue Urdaneta.
That flips the order for Josue Urdaneta, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Came back in the first inning. Madej cruising along, and why not? As a pitcher, that's probably no better feeling than to have 8 runs of support. First pitch to Urdaneta, slapped on the ground to third base. Bryson Hill fields, tosses across the diamond, and the throw is high. It brings Kafis off the bag, and Urdaneta is safe at first. That'll be scored in E5. Hill's throw well too high for Kafis over there. And the Rivets have a base runner. Rivets with no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. Woodchucks with 8 runs on 8 hits, all coming in the bottom of the second inning on 1 error. So now Tyler Hawkins steps in with a runner on. Madej fires the first pitch. Hawkins bunts it. It's a good bunt up the third base line. Madej throws to first, well not in time. Urdaneta is going to try to go to third, and he is out at third base. Josue's not happy about it. It's a 3-6 put out. Kafis tossing across the diamond to get the out. And after Josue is gunned out, Jose Izarra comes over to have a little fun with him, shoving him as Urdaneta retreats back to the first base dugout. And now there's 2 outs. An aggressive tactic from Urdaneta does not pay off. Here's Brian Fuentes. First pitch to him, misses outside, runner goes, throw goes into center field. Hawkins is up on the bag, but does not take off for third. It's a swiped base by Hawkins after an infield single. That's Tyler's 4th stolen base of the season. And the Rivets have a runner in scoring position, looking to dig out of this 8-0 hole. It's still early, lots of baseball left, but the Rivets need to start now. 1-0 to Brian Fuentes. Fastball in there on the outer black, taken for a called strike 1. Fuentes struck out looking in the first inning. Madej has showcased great control, just 1 walk so far, 5 strikeouts. 1-1 on the way. Breaking ball just misses outside at 75 miles per hour. That's ball 2. 2-1 on a cool and overcast day in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. Hawkins with his lead off second base. Now jumps a little bit further towards third, and the 2-1 misses well outside. Vincent with full extension to grab it, and it's 3-1. Cam McDonald, the cleanup batter, waits on deck. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. Madej, the lefty, comes set at the belt, takes a breath. And here's the 3-1 pitch. Misses high, ball 4. So the Rivets with 3 straight base runners in the top half of the third inning. There's 2 on and 2 out for Cam McDonald. Tyler Hawkins on second base. Fuentes on first. McDonald has barreled up balls in his last 2 at-bats, 1 to end the game yesterday. Hit 1 on the screws, but a line drive right to the center fielder to end the game. Last time, shot 1 out to right on a line. First pitch, breaking ball taken for a called strike 1 on the outer half. Nice spot from Madej. If you're going to get that call, might as well just go back to that spot over and over. So it's hard for righties to reach. The set and the 0-1. Hawkins takes off for third, and the pitch is bobbled by the catcher, Vincent. No throw, and Hawkins swipes third. Brian Fuentes remains on first base. Rivets now have runners on the corners with 2 down. A base hit would easily score Hawkins from third base. McDonald with 3 RBIs this summer. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. McDonald got a piece of it, but it went into the glove of Vincent, and the count is 1-2. Rivets looking to avoid stranding runners in a third straight inning to start the ball game. The set and the 1-2 from Madej. Breaking ball called strike 3, right down the middle, and the inning is over. 6 strikeouts for Nate Madej as he strands runners on the corners in the Rockford third, and the Woodchucks maintain a large 8-0 advantage as we go to the bottom of the third on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the third frame in Wausau. Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 8-0 after the Chucks push across all 8 of their tallies in the bottom of the second inning. Elijah Sanchez is out for his first full inning of work after recording the final out of the second inning. He'll face the lower third of the order, starting with Colton Vincent, who had an RBI single his last time up last inning. Righty on righty in the first pitch. Curveball in the dirt, picked up by McGill, taken for ball 1. Vincent picking up his second RBI of the summer. His last trip to the plate. He eventually would come around to score. The wind and the 1-0. Another off-speed offering, misses down and in, taken for ball 2. Nice Sunday crowd on hand at Athletic Park in Wausau. Sanchez with the glove over his face, kicks and delivers the 2-0. It's downstairs, ball 3. Sanchez is not a guy that's going to kill you with velocity. Fastball topping out in the low 80s, but he does change speeds well. He's got about a 10 to 12 mile per hour difference between his fastball and breaking ball. 3-0, misses in the dirt again, and that's a 4-pitch walk to start the third inning. And Colton Vincent gets the free pass. So that brings up the 8-batter, Tommy Delgado, who had an RBI single. In fact, picked up 2 RBIs his last time up. Delgado, the redshirt sophomore from Loyola Marymount. Played in 40 games for Loyola Marymount this spring. Hit .232 with 33 strikeouts. First pitch, swung on and lifted high in the air, shallow center field. Cushing backpedals, gives way for Tyler Hawkins, who calls off the Rivets shortstop and makes the play. Bounce back out for Sanchez, and there's one down with the runner on first in the bottom of the third inning. Rivets trailing 8-0, and here's the 9-batter, Tyler Kehoe. Kehoe singled in the second inning. Redshirt freshman from Liberty, left-handed batter, steps in the box, taps the plate twice. Sanchez from the stretch. And the first pitch. Fastball paints the outer black, taken for a called strike one. Kehoe came around to score in that gargantuan rally in the second inning. Sanchez comes set in a closed stance, and the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back, and it's quickly 0-2. So the Woodchucks get a little bit of revenge on the Rivets from what the Screws did to them last season here at Athletic Park. The Rivets put up double-digit runs in a single inning against Wisconsin last summer. I don't recall the exact tally, but it was a lot. Here's the 0-2 to Kehoe, misses in the dirt as the runner takes off for second, and Vincent gets second base without a throw. A poorly timed curveball in the dirt, taken for ball one, and it's 1-2. Runner in scoring position for Kehoe. As rain starts to fall at Athletic Park, we knew some rain was in the forecast. It's not that heavy, it's sprinkling. It also smells like rain here in the Northwoods. Sanchez lets the right arm hang, gets the sign from McGill, sets at the chest, and delivers the 1-2. Swung on and pulled foul, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch. Sanchez gets a new baseball, rocking the black and gold stirrups with the Rivets' dark gray road uniforms. He looks in for the sign, nods at McGill, and now delivers another 1-2 pitch to Tyler Kehoe. It's on the way, swung on and crushed into deep right field. Playable for Max Malley, who makes the play in front of the center fielder Hawkins, and Vincent tags up and moves to third base from second. And there's two down.
Now batting the second baseman, Jordan Schaefer.
Interesting play out there in right center, as if Hawkins made that play, he may have had a shot at Vincent at third, but Malley made the grab and tossed it back into the infield. Hawkins with a spectacular arm out in center. And here's the leadoff batter, Jordan Schaefer, who singled and scored in the second. Right on right, and the first pitch. Fastball down near the shoe tops of Schaefer, and it's 1-0. Rivets trail 8-0. Bottom of the third inning, another run 90 feet away for the Chucks. Dramatically different squad for the Woodchucks this season. 1-0 paints the inside corner. It's 1-1. Woodchucks finishing with the worst record in the Wisconsin-Illinois pod last year. Northwoods League altering its schedule due to COVID-19, so Rivets and Chucks played each other a fair amount, more than they normally would. Here's the 1-1, breaking ball taken low in the dirt for ball two, 2-1. But the Rivets beat up on the Woodchucks in the first few games before Wisconsin took some games from Rockford at the tail end of the season. So now the Chucks getting some revenge, perhaps. 2-1, slow breaking ball taken for a called strike two. Count is 2-2 on the leadoff man, Schaefer, with Colton Vincent, the catcher, on third base. Sanchez looking to avoid letting up his first run here. 2-2, breaking ball hammered down the third baseline, foul. Vincent jumping out of the way of that one. Avoids the danger, and we'll have another 2-2 offering. Sanchez adjusts his cap, takes a breath. JT Scarra is going to want him to go as long as he can to eat some innings for this Rivets bullpen, which is sure to be strained. 2-2, swung on and sent into center. Low line drive, and Hawkins makes the grab knee high, and that ends the bottom of the third inning. Elijah Sanchez works a scoreless frame, and the score holds. Wisconsin Woodchucks 8, Rockford Rivets nothing on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Wisconsin Woodchucks 8, Rockford Rivets nothing, going to the 4th inning in Wausau. In case you're just joining us, the Chucks doing all of their scoring on an 8-run, 8-hit bottom of the 2nd frame. And Nate Madej is still out there working with a nice cushion as he'll face 5, 6, 7 in the Screws order, starting with Jared Cushing, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Madej is cruising along, has allowed just 2 hits, has recorded 6 Ks. First pitch to Cushing. Fastball swung on and missed. Low and away, looked a little bit outside of the zone. And it's 0-1. Cushing adjusts his batting gloves and steps back in. Cushing now just 1 for 23 away from Rivet Stadium this season. 0-1 from the lefty Madej. Cued up the first base line. It hits the bag, and Kafis snags it in midair and steps on the base to record out number 1. A little bad luck from Cushing. That one looked like it may have rolled foul, but it hit the bag, popped right up to the first baseman, Kafis. And that's out number 1. Here's Jake Donahue with the bases empty. Rivets trailing 8-0. Top of the 4th, Nate Madej working from the windup. Kicks and delivers the first pitch. Fastball paints the outer black for a called strike 1. Donahue walked his first time in the 2nd inning and was stranded on first base. Madej holding his tan leather out in front of his face, brings it down to the hip, turns and fires the 0-1. Fastball misses above the letters to Donahue, taken for ball 1. But in the bottom of the 3rd, I referenced a game that the Rivets beat the Woodchucks in last summer. Rivets won that game 16-2, 1-1 to Donahue. Pitch kicks up some dust, low and outside. Taken for ball 2, 2-1. But the Rivets beat the Woodchucks 16-2 here at Athletic Park, thanks to a 10-run 5th inning, featuring a grand slam from Brandon Comia. 2-1 to Donahue. Swung on, slapped foul, out of play off to the right side, and it's 2-2. Sprinkles continuing to come down in Wausau on a gray overcast day. Temperature at about 70 degrees. Nate Madej doesn't seem to be having any trouble with it. He rocks and delivers the 2-2 to Donahue. Called strike 3, pitched right down the middle. And Madej records His third looking strikeout of the afternoon. K number 7 for the left-hander from Florida Southern College. 2 up, 2 down in the top half of the 4th inning. Bases empty for Grant McGill. Rivets need to get something going if they want to come back in this one. First pitch to McGill, swung on and fouled straight back, 0-1. McGill struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. But going back and looking at last year's Woodchucks team, they are playing with a completely different fire this season than they were last season. Breaking ball taken for a called strike 2. 0-2 on McGill. But I think a lot of that has to do with the new coaching staff. Corey Thompson coming in this season, taking over for the Chucks. 0-2 delivery from Madej, swung on and poked foul off the end of the bat of McGill, and we'll have another 0-2. But sometimes you need that culture shift, you need that culture change. And I think that's worked out for the Chucks so far this season. They're at 11-7 in first place in the Great Lakes West. Rivets riding a 3-game losing skid in 4th place in the Great Lakes East at 8-11. The wind and another 0-2 from Madej and another foul ball up the first base side. Count remains 0-2 on McGill, the redshirt freshman from Indiana State. Takes a look at his bat. Rivets have managed just 2 hits through 3 2/3 today. They had just 3 yesterday in a 2-1 loss. Kick and another 0-2. Breaking ball slips out of the hand of Madej, misses well away. And the count is 1-2. McGill taps the plate. Doesn't choke up on his bat with 2 strikes. Madej brings his hands down to his hip and delivers the 1-2. Fastball misses outside. Vincent tried his best to frame it up. Fans wanted strike 3. Instead, the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind blowing out to straightaway center ever so slightly. Just 360 to dead center here. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball on the outer half, called strike 3. McGill doesn't like the call, and he walks slowly outside the box. Looks at the spot on the plate. But that doesn't make a difference. Back-to-back looking strikeouts ends the Rockford 4th inning. As the Rivets are still off the scoreboard. Score 8-0 Woodchucks as we go to the bottom of the 4th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom 4 at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rockford Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 8-0 after the Chucks score 8 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Elijah Sanchez out for another inning of work. He's tossed 19 pitches in an inning and a third, looking to keep the Chucks lead right where it is. He'll face 2, 3, 4 in the order, starting with 2 Miami Hurricanes, Jose Azara and CJ Kafis. Azara getting his first plate appearance today, coming into the ball game for Bash Randall. First pitch, swing and a foul tip into the glove of McGill. And it's 0-1. Azara has gotten off to a hot start this season for the Woodchucks. Azara knocking the ball around in his first few games. Sanchez misses inside with the 0-1 pitch, and it's 1-1. Czar, the freshman from Miami. C.J. Kafis, another Miami Hurricane freshman, is on deck. 1-1 pitch. Fastball poked up the first base line. Low pop fly caught by Brian Fuentes. And that's out number 1 in the bottom of the 4th. Woodchucks 8, Rivets nothing in a matchup between Great Lakes East and Great Lakes West teams. Rivets have dropped 3 straight. All 2 Great Lakes West opponents. 2 to the Lakeshore Chinooks and now 1 to the Woodchucks. And if they don't get it together, it'll be 4 straight. First pitch to Kafis. Misses downstairs. Ball 1. Kafis smacked a 2 RBI double into the gap. His second time up in the 2nd inning. Sanchez winds and deals the 1-0. Bounces in the dirt, taken for ball 2. Sanchez doesn't have powerful velocity, but he changes speeds effectively. He's got a very interesting story. He started his college baseball career at a junior college. 2-0, swung on and popped foul, out of play. A Division II college, Cedarville in Ohio, where he was a position player. So he played middle infield, a lot of second base, some shortstop, and then transferred back home. Kick in the 2-1 delivery, swing and a miss, and the count is 2-2. But Sanchez is a native of Rockford, wanted to be closer to some family, so he decided to walk away from Cedarville, where he had a lot of success and just attended NIU, wasn't planning on playing baseball. He winds and fires the 2-2, slapped foul out of the stadium off to the third base side. Count remains 2-2. Sanchez figured, you know what, might as well. Why not? Tried to walk on the baseball team, and he got a spot. Didn't get much playing time in his first season, but now he's with the Rivets, working to become a pitcher. 2-2, misses low and in. The count is full at 3-2. Sanchez had 2 appearances this spring for the Huskies, pitching 1 2/3, surrendering 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. Working from the left side of the rubber here, comes home with a payoff pitch, swung on and sent into left field. Donahue back on it in front of the track and gets under it and makes the grab for out number 2. Score in F7, 2 up, 2 down for Sanchez. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Rivets behind 8-0. And here's the 4-batter Griffin Lockwood Powell, who has a double and a ground out, both coming in the 2nd inning.
Sorry about that. Your attention, please.
And we've got a pinch hitter. Lockwood Powell out of the ball game, as Antonio Valdez comes in the DH spot. So Woodchucks manager Corey Thompson pulling some strings here in a 8-0 Woodchucks lead. Scorebook increasingly becoming messy after the Chucks batted around in the 2nd. First pitch to Valdez, swung on and pulled foul up the first base side. 0-1. Valdez, the sophomore from Baylor, standing at 5'11". He's a switch batter. Squaring off against the righty Sanchez here. Here's the 0-1. Pulled on the ground this time. Fair backhanded stop from Fuentes. Flips to first where Sanchez is covering in time. And it's a 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th inning for Eli Sanchez and the Rivets. They keep the score right where it is. Woodchucks 8, Rivets nothing as we go to the 5th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Rivets behind the Wisconsin Woodchucks 8-0 as we go to the 5th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Let's take a quick look around the Northwoods League. The Green Bay Booyah are now in front of the Kokomo Jackrabbits, coming from behind. They're ahead 3-2 in Kokomo in the top half of the 6th. Madison trails Fond du Lac 5-1 in the 5th inning in Fond du Lac. Kenosha Kingfish ahead of the Battle Creek Bombers 4-0 in a Great Lakes East battle at Simmons Field in Kenosha, bottom of the 5th there. Lakeshore ahead of Kalamazoo 1-0 in the bottom of the 4th at Capco Park in Mequon, Wisconsin. Rivets send up 8-9-1, starting with Peter Fusick in the frame here, and Fusick takes a called strike one from Nate Madej, who is cruising along. He's pitched 4 shutout innings, allowing 2 hits, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. 0-1 to Fusick, slow breaking ball on the back door, finds the zone, and is quickly 0-2. Fusick is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field in the 2nd inning. Madej wasting no time, working from the windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. Vincent tosses down to first base to set down Fusick. 3 straight strikeouts for this Rivets order now. Strikeout number 9 for Nate Madej, as the Rivets continue to flounder against the left-hander from Florida Southern College. Madej working from the windup against Max Malley, who steps in now 0 for 1. In the first pitch, he drops down a bunt up the third base line and drops foul. Malley busting it up the first base line. Bunt for a hit attempt there with the bases empty. Rivets behind 8-0 in the top of the 5th inning. Nate Madej in his 2nd season with the Wisconsin Woodchucks. So far this season, he's got an ERA a shade over 4, but that will certainly drop after this start. The Woodchucks are undefeated when he started this season. 0-1, pitch misses outside, and it's 1-1 on the Rockford 9 batter. But the Chucks are 3-0 so far when Madej starts, well on their way to 4-0 today. Kick in the 1-1. Backdoor breaking ball misses in the left-handed batter's box, taken for ball 2. 2-1. But Madej was also an innings eater last season, pitched 41 innings, which is more than he pitched this spring. 2-1, lifted foul up the first base side, and it's 2-2. Last season, before Madej made a start at Rockford on August 11th, I had a chance to chat with him a little bit before one of his starts, which is rare. Some pitchers are very intense on their starting days. Kicking the 2-2 delivery, shot foul up the first base side again, and we'll have another 2-2. But Madej came into the press box sporting cutoff jorts, a tank top t-shirt, and a cowboy hat. So I couldn't help but ask him about the outfit. He delivers another 2-2 to Malley. Slow curveball poked off the end of the bat, and the battle continues. But Madej told me that he dressed up in some sort of goofy outfit for every one of his starts. Try and keep things loose, have a little fun with it, and it worked. He pitched to a 3.95 ERA, and in that particular start, he went 7 innings, allowing just 2 hits. Another 2-2 to Malley. Fastball pops the mid of Vincent, but it's outside the zone for ball 3. Count is full now on the Rockford right fielder. Max looking to avoid his 2nd strikeout of the day. Madej delivers the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, he got him. Strikeout number 10 for the redshirt sophomore, native of Lamont, Illinois, and the bases are empty with 2 down for the top of the order in the Rivets' 5th inning. Madej has now set down 4 straight Rivets on strikes as Rockford trails 8-0 in the top of the 5th. Josue Urdaneta, the leadoff man, steps in 0 for 2, reached on an error his last time, and the first pitch to him is a breaking ball out over the heart, and Madej can't miss. You can really tell when a pitcher is dialed in because they get into a rhythm, and Madej is really in that rhythm right now. Takes a breath, rocks and fires the 0-1. Breaking ball misses inside. Madej gets the baseball back, fiddles with it in his hands a little bit, brings the glove over his head, now holds it out over his chest, brings it down to the hip. Kicks and delivers the 1-1, swung on and popped foul over the net, and it's 1-2. Madej has a chance to strike out the side for the first time today. Working for a Woodchucks pitching staff that leads the Northwoods League in ERA with a 2.64 mark entering today. And at this rate, that's going to decrease. 1-2 pitch. Curveball slapped over the second baseman Schaefer into right field. Josue Urdaneta knocks the Rivets' third base hit of the day. The Rivets have a little bit of life in the top half of the 5th inning. Woodchucks 8, Rivets nothing. Here's Tyler Hawkins with a runner on first base. Tyler's 2 for 2 today with 2 singles and 2 stolen bases. Snapping a bit of a cold stretch. Redshirt freshman from Louisville facing the lefty Madej. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball above the letters taken for ball 1. Tyler, the Rivets center fielder, developing more plate patience. A check on Urdaneta at first, and they got him. Madej holds out the left hand and waves goodbye to Urdaneta after he gets him with the pickoff throw. A good move from the Woodchucks lefty, and the Rivets go down in the minimum in the top half of the 5th inning, and the score holds. Woodchucks 8, Rivets nothing, as we go to the bottom of the 5th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network.
Hey, Woodchucks fans, your Wisconsin.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Wisconsin Woodchucks lead the Rockford Rivets by a wide margin of 8-0. JT Scara goes back to the Rivets bullpen and calls upon Tyler Horvath to take over for Eli Sanchez, who went 2 1/3 of scoreless work. Horvath, the left-hander from University of Illinois Springfield. He's a redshirt sophomore, has had 2 appearances for the Rivets, allowing 1 earned run. He faces Gino Groover, and the first pitch misses low and away to the 5-batter in the Woodchucks order, 1-0. Groover is 1 for 2 with an RBI double that came back in the Woodchucks' 8-run second inning. The 1-0 pitch misses outside. Looked like a bit of an off-speed delivery from Horvath, and it's 2-0. Rain sprinkling down on both teams at Athletic Park, but still a good crowd on hand. Kicking the 2-0. This time Horvath finds the zone, and it's 2-1. Horvath working from the stretch as always, no runners on. 2-1 pitch, runs inside, almost hit Groover, who kicked his back leg out of the way. The count is 3-1. Horvath has 1 strikeout and 1 walk, has allowed 2 hits in his 2 innings this summer. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Can't catch the outer reaches of the zone, and it's a leadoff base runner for the Chucks in the bottom of the 5th. Groover with a big summer debut here for the Chucks. Reached each of his last 2 times, and now here's Bryson Hill. Redshirt sophomore from Abilene Christian is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Horvath looks in for the sign, facing the runner. Groover with a big lead at first base. Horvath comes home with the first pitch. It's swung on and missed. Fastball at about 85 from Horvath. Hill popped out to second base his last time to end that long second inning. Horvath steps over and throws to first base. And Groover dives back safely. Want to take a moment to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers who may be listening, especially my dad back at home. 0-1 from Horvath, swing and a foul tip off the umpire. And Grant McGill immediately checks on Perry Swartz behind the plate. He's all right. McGill walks halfway to the mound, tosses the ball a short distance to Horvath. Rivets don't want to be charged a mound visit. The count is 0-2 on Bryson Hill. Hill, the 6th batter, entered today's action with a 184 batting average, but based on his second inning single, you wouldn't guess that he's a 184 hitter. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, he got him. Fastball up in the zone. Hill couldn't catch up with it, and that's just the 2nd strikeout for this Woodchucks order today as the rain starts to come down at a heavier clip. 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. Runner on first base for Colton Vincent, the 7 batter. Rivets trail the Woodchucks 8-0. Horvath from the stretch, sets at the letters. Here's the first pitch. Fastball paints the outer black as some fans start to break out some umbrellas or head for covered areas at Athletic Park. They've got a lot of covered seating areas here, especially down the first base line. Convenient for gray and rainy days like today. 0-1 from Horvath. Swing and a miss. Again on the fastball on the outer half. And it's 0-2. Vincent has reached twice, had an RBI single in that second inning. Walked in the 3rd. Was left stranded on 3rd base. Horvath lets his left arm hang, has the sign. Pauses and throws over to first base. The slow move from Horvath. Groover back with a dive. It was sprinkling earlier, and now it's a little bit more of an intense rain. You can tell by taking a whiff of the Northwoods air that rain is around. It's got that distinct rain smell. 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses high, and it's 1-2. I read an article a few weeks ago in Forbes about pitchers throwing fastballs high. There's a statistics-based piece. Here's the 1-2, and it's fouled back. Another fastball. We'll do it again. But it was about how pitchers are trying to combat the home run hitting trend in baseball today. Of course, baseball trending towards more of the 3 true outcomes, which would be walk, strikeout, and home run. 1-2, sent into center field. Hawkins comes in. Now he goes back on it, and it sails over his head. Gino Groover touches second base. He's going to get the wave around third base. The throw goes to shortstop, and now Groover dives back to third. And he's in there safely, and it's a double from Colton Vincent. Got an off-speed pitch out over the heart, and Hawkins misplayed it in center. Those line drives right at center fielders are hard to play, but Hawkins misjudged it, and the Rivets are in more trouble in the bottom of the 5th inning. But that article, which now that I think about it, I believe it was in the Wall Street Journal, not Forbes. it stated that fastballs in the upper part of the zone are becoming more and more prevalent as hitters can't get around on. First pitch to Tommy Delgado, misses low and away. The count is 1-0. Delgado is 1 for 2. Had a 2 RBI single in the second. Flied out to center his last time in the third. Tyler Horvath working from the right side of the rubber. Sets and delivers. Swung on and pop foul. Off to the right side, well out of play, and it's 1-1. That article said that pitchers are now throwing upwards of 22% of pitches as fastballs up in the zone because, of course, hitters trying to hit home runs tend to uppercut. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball out over the heart, taken for a called strike 2. 1-2, Rivets trailing 8-0, bottom of the fifth. Gino Groover on third base, Colton Vincent on second after a double. One pitcher that has taken advantage of those high fastballs is Jacob deGrom. 1-2, high chopper to shortstop, fielded by Cushing, throws to first in time. Groover comes home to score. It's now 9-0 Woodchucks. And there's 2 down for the 9-batter, Tyler Kehoe.
Now batting the center fielder.
Vincent moves up to third on the play. The ball took a wicked hop on Cushing at shortstop. It bounced up off the lip of the grass up near head high for Cushing, but he recovered to make the play. Kehoe, the center fielder, is 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. Lefty on lefty here. Horvath sets at the letters. And here's the first pitch to the redshirt freshman from Liberty. Breaking ball on the outer half. Check swing called strike. And it's 0-1. Lights not on as the rain continues to fall at Athletic Park on a cool Sunday afternoon in the heart of June. 0-1 from Horvath. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Vincent retreats back to third base. Vincent has reached all 3 times today. The Florida State Seminole knocking around the Rivets a little bit. Count is 1-1 on Tyler Kehoe, and he swings and pops it foul off to the third base side. McDonald gives chase, and it lands in the empty grandstand. And a little guy comes out with a foul ball, sporting a cowboy cap. I bet that's keeping him dry a little bit. Wind continues to blow out to center field at less than 5 miles per hour. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Kehoe. Breaking ball waved at and missed. Well outside of the zone. And the inning is over. 2 strikeouts, but a run allowed for Tyler Horvath. And our new score going to the 6th inning is the Wisconsin Woodchucks 9 and the Rockford Rivets nothing. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Rockford Rivets trailing the Wisconsin Woodchucks 8-0 as we go to the top of the 6th inning in Wausau. It's a gray, rainy, cloudy, overcast, gloomy, whatever you want to call it, day here at Athletic Park, and those adjectives can probably be applied to the Rivets day as well, as Nate Madej has cruised through this Rivets order, striking out 10, allowing just 3 hits and no runs, as he picks some dirt out of his cleats before he starts the inning. Tyler Hawkins, Brian Fuentes, Cam McDonald due up for the Rivets, representing 2, 3, 4 in the order. Starting with Tyler Hawkins, who is left stranded at the plate after Josue Urdaneta was picked off first base to end the 5th. Here's the first pitch to Tyler. Sliding breaking ball taken for a called strike 1 over the heart of the plate, and it's 0-1. Madej, the lefty from Florida Southwestern, is dialed in despite the rain. Kicks and fires the 0-1. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1. And Madej is a real fiery competitor, you can tell. Here's his 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Vincent can't frame it up, and it's 2-1. But after he picked off Josue Urdaneta off first base, he literally held his hand out and waved by. 2-1. Madej comes back with a fastball over the heart of the plate, and Hawkins takes strike 2. Madej working from the windup, holds the hands at the hip, rocks in, delivers the 2-2. Breaking ball bounced approximately 58 feet from the rubber. The count is full on the Rivets 2-batter. Hawkins trying to get the bat going after struggling with a little bit of strikeouts recently. Struck out 20 times this season to lead the Rivets. Madej delivers the payoff pitch. Grounded sharply to short. Azara charges, throws away from the first baseman, Kafis. That'll be a scored a hit, as Hawkins would have been safe. The ball was hit hard out of the box, but then slowed down on the infield grass. It would have been a tough play for Azara to make. Tyler Hawkins is 3 for 3 with 3 singles. The Rivets have a little bit of life in the top half of the 6th inning, trailing 9-0. Chuck scoring 8 runs in the bottom of the 2nd and 1 run in the bottom of the 5th. Rivets have lost 3 straight, entering today's contest with a record of 8-11. Wisconsin in first place in the Great Lakes West at 11-7. Here's the first pitch to Brian Fuentes. Slider misses in the dirt, 1-0. Fuentes is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout looking. That came back in the first inning. Madej from the stretch, sets at the belt, kicks and delivers the 1-0, misses inside again, and it's 2-0. At this point in time, the Rivets just need base runners, so the more patient they can be, the better. It's hard to tell if there's any action in the Woodchucks bullpen from our perspective. Doesn't look like it. 2-0, fastball misses outside, and it's quickly 3-0 on the Rivets 3-batter, Fuentes. Hawkins not going anywhere at first base just yet. He's stolen 2 bases today. He's got a good lead. And here's the 3-0 to Fuentes. Fastball paints the outer black, taken for a called strike 1. It's 3-1. Fuentes had a 3-game hit streak snapped yesterday. And Madej throws over to first to check on Hawkins, who's back without a slide. I think Hawkins is going to be a little more conservative than he usually would with that lead off first base after seeing Urdaneta picked off last inning. 3-1 to Fuentes. Swinging a foul back, and it's full. Fuentes lists his hometown as Crystal Lake, Illinois, but his family has roots in Venezuela, and Fuentes speaks fluent Spanish, often speaking en español to his teammate Josue Urdaneta. Madej sets at the belt, and comes home with the payoff pitch. Slow breaking ball misses high and away, and the Rivets have 2 on with no out in the in the top of the 6th inning.
Third baseman Cam McDonald.
Hawkins on second, Fuentes on first for the cleanup batter, Cam McDonald. Rain continues to fall. Madej uses a screwdriver to pick the dirt out of his cleats on the back of the mound before stepping on to face McDonald, who's 0 for 2. Cam struck out looking with 2 runners on in the third his last time up on a breaking ball out over the heart. Here's the first pitch. He swings at the first pitch, grounds it to second base. Schaefer backhands and his only plays at first, and he tosses the short way to retire Cam McDonald. It's a 4-3 put out for the first out of the top of the 6th. Hawkins moves up to third, Fuentes to second. Rivets trailing 9-0. Here's Jared Cushing, who's also 0 for 2. A base knock here would give the Rivets at least their first run of the day. Fuentes can run well enough to score on a single to the right spot in the outfield. Cushing just needs to put the ball in play here. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. First pitch to Jarrett, swinging a foul tip off the catcher Colton Vincent, and it's 0-1. Madej switching baseballs almost every pitch, or at least every time it hits the dirt, as those balls have a lot of moisture on them now. Rain falling from an overcast sky. 0-1 to Cushing. Breaking ball hammered into left field, drops for a base hit. Hawkins comes home to score. Fuentes gets the stop sign at third, and it's an RBI single for Jared Cushing, his 9th run batted in of the year. And that lead is trimmed to 9-1, Woodchucks.
Left fielder Jake Donahue.
Cushing trying to end his road struggles. Getting off to a good start there. He's 1 for 3 today, and now we're going to get a mound visit from Drake Robeson, the pitching coach for the Woodchucks. Robeson, a Rockford, Illinois native, coaching for the Woodchucks against his hometown team here. Mound visit is strictly Vincent, Madej, and Robeson, no other members of the infield. Fuentes stands on third, talking things over with Rivets manager J.T. Scara. Cushing on first base, talking with Blake Mosley, the Rivets infielder, serving as first base coach today. Home plate umpire Perry Swartz now joins the conversation on the mound. He breaks up the party. He wants to get this game moving. The Rivets do not return to Wausau, so if the rain continues to fall a little bit harder, we could have a little trouble trying to pick up in a suspended game. But of course, we are past the point that this game is official. We're in the top of the 6th inning, with the Rivets trailing by a score of 9-1. Thanks for joining us on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network on your Father's Day. Madej ready for the first pitch to Jake Donahue, and the fastball misses high, 1-0. Donahue, the freshman from Central Michigan, today's left fielder for Rockford, struck out looking his last time, walked in the 2nd inning. Madej sets at the belt and delivers the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball called strike. Lower half of the zone, and it's 1-1. Madej violently kicks both of his cleats off on the rubber. Now brushes the clay off the slab there. Sets in a closed stance. Runners on the corners. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball tipped foul by Donahue, and it's 1-2. It's a slow breaker at 73 from Madej. Boy, can he change speeds well. Fastball up in the high 80s. Curveball, which is sat around 75 all day long. With a slider as well in the low 80s. The pause and the 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. He got him on the curveball. Donahue is set down for his second strikeout of the day. K number 11 for Nate Madej. And there's 2 down in the Rockford 6th inning.
Catcher Grant McGill.
9-1 Woodchucks. Rivets with a run in, runners on the corners. But now Grant McGill needs to come through with a base hit to extend the inning. Brian Fuentes on third base. Jared Cushing on first after an RBI single. McGill is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch to the righty. Swung on and poked foul over our heads as Nate Madej has hit 100 pitches. So that will be all for him after he finishes this 6th inning. What a gem it's been for the lefty. Rivets have been dominated by Woodchucks starting pitching in this series. 0-1, slow breaking ball on the back door, taken for a called strike 2. McGill not happy about that outside strike spot. Doesn't matter though, got to swing at anything close now with 2 strikes. Madej has the sign, comes set in a close stance, kicks and fires the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball buried in the dirt. Cushing went about a third of the way to second base before slamming on the brakes and heading back. And it's 1-2. Madej with 11 strikeouts to just 2 walks after Ryan Lobus went 7 innings yesterday. Did not allow a Rivets run on just 1 hit. The pause and the 1-2 pitch. Fastball on the inside, black, called strike 3. Nate Madej ends his day with his 12th strikeout. But the Rivets scratch across 1 run in the 6th inning thanks to an RBI single by Jared Cushing. And our new score, Woodchucks 9, Rivets 6, as we go to the bottom half of the 6th at Athletic Park on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Bottom 6 in Wausau with the Wisconsin Woodchucks ahead of the Rockford Rivets 9-1. Thanks for joining me on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network on this rainy Father's Day in northern Wisconsin. Tyler Horvath is out for a 2nd inning of work. He'll square off against the top half of the order, starting with the leadoff batter, Jordan Schaefer. Schaefer is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored back in the Woodchucks' 2nd inning, in which they scored 8 runs. Chucks also scoring a run in the bottom of the 5th. Rivets responding with 1 in the 6th. First pitch, fastball misses low and away, and it's 1-0. Schaefer, the redshirt junior from Indiana State. Rain continues steadily. The 1-0 popped into right field. Max Malley moves back on it in front of the track, camps under it, and makes the play. Scored an F9 to start the bottom of the 6th for Wisconsin.
Now batting the shortstop.
And the bases are empty for the two-batter, Jose Izarra. Rivets trail 9-1. 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error for Rockford. 9 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for Wisconsin. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. The first pitch from Horvath. Fastball down the chute. Taken for a strike, 0-1. Rivets need to come back if they want to end this 3-game road trip throughout the state of Wisconsin on a high note. 0-1. Breaking ball bounces on the clay around home plate. And it's 1-1. But Rockford will play 8 of its next 10 games at home. You gotta figure that's exactly where they want to be should they enter on a 4-game losing streak. The 1-1 pop foul over the screen, and it's 1-2. The Rivets have one other 4-game losing streak this season. And that came from June 1st through June 4th. Rockford sliding on a 3-game losing skid right now. 1-2 pitch. Fastball high, and it's 2-2. Horvath working quickly through the rain. Nobody likes standing in the rain. Nobody likes pitchers that take forever either. Slow breaking ball fouled off the screen. We'll have another 2-2. Yesterday, between these squads, we had a remarkably fast game. It lasted just 2 hours and 13 minutes. Quickest game for the Rivets this season. Horvath sets and delivers the 2-2. Fastball misses inside. Horvath thought it was strike 3. McGill tried to frame it. No dice from Perry Swartz. The count is full on Jose Izarra. Horvath sets at the letters, kicks and fires the payoff pitch. Fastball misses inside. Looked like that was going to be strike 3, but Swartz again doesn't give the Rivets the call. And Izarra draws a 1-out walk in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Woodchucks leading 9-1.
Now batting the first baseman.
Here's another Miami Hurricane, C.J. Kafis, who is 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI double in the big 2nd inning. Flied out to left field his last time. Lefty on lefty, here's the first pitch. Breaking ball sweeps across the strike zone, taken for strike 1, 0-1. But for comparison, talking about yesterday's quick game, the average game in Major League Baseball this season is 3 hours and 9 minutes. Kick in the 0-1. Breaker over the heart, taken for a called strike 2, 0-2. Rivets have had a knack for fast games this season. Maybe not close games, especially not today. But Rockford has played 12 of its 19 games under 3 hours. 0-2 is waved at and missed on a breaking ball in the dirt, and that's strike 3. Third K of the outing for Tyler Horvath, and there's 2 down in the bottom of the 6th frame.
Antonio Valdez.
Here's Antonio Valdez in his 2nd plate appearance. Grounded out to first base, his first in the 4th inning. First pitch to the sophomore from Baylor, swinging a foul back. Valdez a switch batter, and he took his first plate appearance from the right side, or left side, excuse me, against the righty Elijah Sanchez, who had a scoreless outing, went 2 1/3. Izarra takes his lead. Here's the 0-1. Fastball down I-39, taken for a called strike 2, and it's 0-2. Horvath kicks some dirt off the rubber, trying to make himself at home out there on that now very saturated mound. Rain continues to fall at Athletic Park. 0-2 delivery, misses high to the cleanup batter, and it's 1-2. Looking ahead to the the 7th inning, top of the 7th for Rockford. Peter Fusick, Max Malley, and Josue Urdaneta coming up, 8-9-1. 1-2, jam shot foul on top of the Rivets' first base dugout. We'll have another 1-2. Entering today, the Rivets pitchers had been moving in the right direction, lowering its collective ERA below 6 after yesterday's 2 earned run performance. The 1-2 misses in the dirt, snared by McGill. Looks back Azara. Count is 2-2. Over the last 10 games, the Rivets staff ERA was 4.45. Not great, but moving in the right direction. And starters had been cruising along. 2-2, waved at and missed for strike 3. Horvath sets down back-to-back batters on strikes to end the 6th inning, and he keeps the Woodchucks off the scoreboard. And the score remains Woodchucks 9, Rivets 1, going to the 7th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Wisconsin Woodchucks 9, Rockford Rivets 1, going to the 7th inning in Wausau, Wisconsin. The good news for the Rivets is that Nate Madej is now out of the ball game. The Woodchucks starter going 6 innings, allowing 5 hits, just 1 earned run, 3 walks, and a whopping 12 strikeouts. And Dante Cherico, the right-handed pitcher from Northwest Florida State College, is on in relief. Cherico has made 4 appearances this season. He's got 1 save. He's tossed 11 2/3 innings, surrendering 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 runs total, 2 walks, and 12 strikeouts. It's good for an ERA of 1.54, so he's been solid out of the bullpen, and the bullpen certainly has been a strong point for this Woodchucks Woodchucks pitching staff that leads the league in ERA, 2.64 entering today's game. That will certainly lower, and I imagine that it's going to be tough to catch them in the standings. Rivets will send up 8-9-1, starting with Peter Fusick, who's 0 for 2 with a swinging strikeout. First pitch, swung on and fouled off, 0-1. Fusick sporting a beard and long brown hair out of the back of his black batting helmet. Taps the plate a few times, swings the bat around. And here's the 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. Jericho got him with the high fastball, and it's quickly 0-2. Jericho taking the reins from Madej after the lefty tossed 103 pitches. He was efficient with them. Madej in line for the win. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball misses outside. Jericho is ready to strut around the mound. Instead, it's ball one. 1-2 on the Rockford DH. Fusick trying to improve upon his batting average of 167. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and a breaking ball misses low. Couldn't get Fusick to chase, and it's 2-2. Righty on righty here. Fusick waves the bat back and forth. Jericho wasting no time. And the 2-2 is cut on and missed. Strike three. 13 Ks for the Rivets order today. Second for Fusick. And there's one down in the top half of the seventh with the Rivets trailing 9-1. Base is empty for the 9 batter, Max Malley, who is 0 for 2 with 2 Ks himself. Jericho picking up where Madej left off. Another righty on righty matchup here. Jericho from the stretch and the first pitch. Fastball paints the black on the outside half of the zone, 0-1. Malley, the sophomore from Evansville, a super utility player for the Rivets. 0-1, slow breaking ball right down the middle, and it's quickly 0-2. Malley was fooled by that. But Malley has caught a handful of games for Rockford. He also plays the outfield and can play infield. 0-2. Fastball popped up to the right side, shallow right. Tommy Delgado, the right fielder, in, and Jordan Schaefer, the second baseman, out. And he makes the grab for out number 2. Scored a P4. There's 2 down in the Rockford seventh. Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks 9-1. And here's the leadoff man, Josue Urdaneta, who singled his last time but was picked off first base in the 5th inning. Jericho gazes in for the sign, and here's the first pitch to Urdaneta, now in the left-handed batter's box, and he takes strike 1. Urdaneta, the only switch batter on the Rivets roster, took his first 3 ABs from the left side, now bats, from the right side, now bats from the left side. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss on a vanishing, what looked like two-seam fastball. Cutting away from the lefty Urdaneta. Would have ran in on a righty. And it's 0-2. Urdaneta adjusts his helmet, stares out at Jericho, and here's the pitch. Misses inside, 1-2. I imagine Urdaneta is tough to pitch to. He's got a small strike zone. He's got great contact skills. Fouls off a lot of pitches. He's just got 1 strikeout in a few games this season. Looking to avoid his second today. Breaking ball taken inside. And it's 2-2 on the Rockford second baseman. He's not going to swing at pitches outside of the zone usually either. Jericho pauses, and here's the 2-2 delivery. Fastball high at about neck level, and now the count is worked full. Rivets looking to put on a base runner for the 3rd straight inning. Need a lot of runs to come back in this one, down by 8. Here's the payoff pitch, swung on and popped up on the infield, fair territory on the left side. Bryson Hill, the 3rd baseman, gives way for Jose Azar, the shortstop, who makes the grab in shallow left field, and the inning is over. Dante Jericho works a 1-2-3 top half of the 7th. And at stretch time at Athletic Park, it's the Wisconsin Woodchucks 9, and the Rockford Rivets 1. You're listening to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, the Rockford Rivets trailing 9-1 to the Wisconsin Woodchucks, who stand in first place in the Great Lakes West Division. Rivets in 4th in the Great Lakes East, sliding on a 3-game skid. Jake Armstrong is the new arm in the ball game for Rivets manager JT Scare, and he fires the first pitch to Gino Groover, who takes a huge hack and a miss. The count is 0-1. Groover, Bryson Hill, Colton Vincent due up in the bottom of the 7th, representing 5, 6, 7 in the order. Armstrong working from the windup. Redshirt sophomore from UW Milwaukee takes a long pause, turns and delivers the 0-1. Another breaking ball, another swing and a miss. And it's quickly 0-2 on Groover, who has reached each of his last 2 times. Scored a run in the 5th. Woodchucks only run in that frame. They did all the rest of their scoring in the bottom of the 2nd, an 8-run frame. Armstrong goes back to the curveball, misses outside, and it's 1-2. Armstrong had a very rough first outing 2 nights ago at Lakeshore. Here's his 1-2 pitch. Fastball, foul tipped, and we'll have another 1-2 pitch. But Armstrong came on, pitched an inning. The Rivets had a 3-1 lead entering the bottom of the 7th. Armstrong let up a walk and then a 2-run home run to tie the game, and then struck out 2 batters and let up a solo home run to give the Chinooks the lead. Here's another 1-2. Breaking ball sent into shallow center. Tyler Hawkins comes in on it and makes the play. That's out number 1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Scored an F8. Rivets behind 9-1. Good start for Armstrong. And here's Bryson Hill, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in that aforementioned 2nd inning. And that probably won't be mentioned much on the Rivets' 4-hour bus ride home tonight. Armstrong, the right-handed pitcher. Hill, the left-handed batter. Here's the first pitch. Fastball tails too far outside, ball 1. Let's take a look at this Dayton baseball history, shall we, after this next pitch from Armstrong. Holds the glove at the belt, has the sign, turns and delivers the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball called strike 1 on the outer half. On this date in 1980, a particularly famous brawl as Al Cowens fights Ed Farmer. 1-1. Curveball called strike again on the back door to the lefty. And it's 1-2. But Cowens was charging the mound after he got hit by Farmer the previous season. 1-2. Breaking ball hung up deep right field, and Malley shades towards the line and makes the grab. Back-to-back fly ball outs for Jake Armstrong in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rivets trail 9-1. Base is empty for Colton Vincent. But that brawl was particularly interesting. So Cowens hit an infield ground ball and then ran directly to the mound. Started swinging on Farmer. And then Al Cowens had an arrest warrant put out for him. First pitch to Vincent, called strike. Breaking ball on the outside part of the zone, and it's 0-1. Vincent has reached all 3 times. Single, double, and a walk. Here's the 0-1 fastball. It's popped up. Right side of the field in shallow right. Max Malley camps under it, and that's the end of the inning. It's a 1-2-3 frame for Jake Armstrong, bouncing back from his tough first inning as a Rivet a few days ago. And the score remains Wisconsin Woodchucks 9, Rockford Rivets 1 as we go to the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Headed to the 8th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin. Rivets trail the Wisconsin Woodchucks by a score of 9-1. In case you're just joining us, it was early runs that killed the Rivets once again, as Screws starter Ryan O'Reilly led up 8 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Chucks scoring 1 more in the bottom of the 5th. Rivets with their lone run in the 6th inning, and now if they want to come back in this one, they'll have to score at least 8 runs off of the Woodchucks' back end of the bullpen, which has proved to be very good after Dante Chirico tosses a scoreless inning after Nate Madej comes out of the ball game. Chandler Pohl is the new pitcher for the Woodchucks, the big right-hander from SF Austin in Texas. First pitch to Tyler Hawkins, a fastball pumped in there at 89. Looks a little closer to 90 to me, and it's 0-1. Hawkins is 3 for 3 with 3 singles. 0-1, another fastball called strike on the inner half, and it's 0-2. Hawkins scored the Rivets' only run his last time to the plate. Pohl has made 4 appearances so far this season, and he's gone 3 1/3. ERA of 0. 0-2, fastball pops the mitt outside, taken for ball 1. Hawkins has not been quick to swing at pitches early in the count, no matter the circumstance. Pohl working from the stretch with nobody on, and now he steps off the rubber and he wants to run through the signs with Vincent again. It's a gray and cloudy day in northern Wisconsin. Rain continuing to sprinkle. The 1-2 breaking ball popped up in foul territory. The catcher, long run for Vincent. He slides and makes the grab. In front of the Rivets dugout. One of the most impressive plays we've seen all day, as he straps his leg guard back on right in front of the Rivets' first base dugout. Just not the Rivets' day. Not getting many breaks, and that certainly was not one there. 1 up, 1 down, top of the 8th inning. Rivets behind 9-1. Here's the 3-batter Brian Fuentes, who's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. Righty on righty, and the first pitch is a fastball that breaks towards the inside half of the zone. It's 0-1. Pohl throwing mostly fastballs to Hawkins, and now starts Fuentes off with a fastball. Comes back with another fastball, again on the inner part of the zone, and it's 0-2. Fuentes taking that one on the inner half. Pohl wasting no time, standing at 6'5", 225 pounds. 0-2 offering, curveball laced over the shortstop's head into left field. And it's a 1-out single for Brian Fuentes. Fuentes got another fastball. He was ready for it that time.
Third baseman, Cam McDonald.
And the Rivets have a base runner in the top of the 8th. Woodchucks 9, Rivets 1. As Cam McDonald steps in, he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Righty on righty. Fuentes doesn't have stolen base speed on first. Here's the first pitch. Fastball bounced, and it gets away from Vincent, but Fuentes doesn't realize it in time. So he stays at first base as time is called. Chandler Pohl gets a new baseball, steps on the rubber. Sets below the letters, and the 1-0 pitch is a fastball down the heart of the plate. A little bit high to Cam, and I think he said something about it to the home plate umpire after he stepped out of the box, but now the count is 1-1. Fuentes with a 2-step lead, 3-step lead off first. 1-1, breaking ball gets away from Vincent, and now Fuentes moves up to second on a pass ball. The Rivets have a runner in scoring position in the top of the 8th. They're trailing 9-1, riding a 3-game losing skid. Could be 4 soon. Good news for Rockford is they'll head home for the next 8 of the next 10 games. 2-1 offering. Cam sends it into right field, in the air. Delgado moves back in front of the track, makes the grab. Fuentes is going to tag from second and move up to third. So a loud and productive out from McDonald, scored an F9. Cam's second of the ball game. And there's 2 down with the runner on third base for Jared Cushing, the Rivets shortstop. Jared had an RBI single his last time up in the 6th. Why not make it 2? Cushing overall 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Taking another look at this date in baseball history. We talked about that Al Cowens and Ed Farmer brawl in 1980. First pitch to Jared Cushing misses high, ball 1. In 1980, 5'5" Freddie Patek hits 3 home runs to help the Angels beat the Red Sox 20-2. 1-0, a fastball that comes back inside the zone, and it's 1-1 on Cushing. And Patek would have a 14-year career in the big leagues, averaging 4 home runs per season. 1-1, another fastball that misses high. It's 2-1. So it's funny how baseball works. Some days he can be the best home run hitter in the league, and other days, not so much. 2-1 pitch. Two-seamer comes back into the zone on the outer half, and it's taken for a called strike 2. 2-2 on Cushing, looking to avoid his second strikeout of the ball game. Native of Naperville, squaring off against the Iowa native. 2-2, swinging a foul, Tapper, and we'll do it again. Pole going a long way from home in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, to attend Stephen F. Austin in Texas. The big righty sets and delivers another 2-2. Fastball misses outside. The count is full. Pole with a very traditional, straight over-the-top delivery. And boy, does he throw hard. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball misses low, and Jared Cushing draws a 2-out walk. Now the Rivets have runners on the corners in the top half of the 8th for the 6th batter, Jake Donahue. Donahue hitless today with a 5-game hit streak on the line. He walked his first time and has struck out 2 times since. Rivets behind 9-1 against the first place Woodchucks. First pitch to Donahue. Fastball misses low and away to the right-handed batter, and it's 1-0. On this date in 1982, Pete Rose plays his 3,000th game. 1-0, fastball splits the plate, taken for a called strike 1. 1-1 on Donahue now. Rose became the 5th major leaguer to appear in 3,000, joining Ty Cobb, Stan Musial, Hank Aaron, and Carl Yastrzemski. 1-1, looks like a changeup over the plate, and the count is now 1-2. Donahue taking all the way there. Not bad company for Pete Rose to be in. Of course, he's the only one of those men not in the Hall of Fame. Pole sets and delivers. Fastball misses high, and Cushing takes off and swipes second base without a throw. Cushing will get a stolen base for that. No defensive indifference. And now with a single, Donahue could pick up 2 RBIs and help the Rivets cut into this lead. They're down 9-1. Here's the 2-2 to Donahue. Swing and a miss. He got him. Fastball up in the zone. Donahue flips the bat as he walks back to the dugout, and the Rivets strand 2 runners in scoring position in the 8th. And the score holds. Wisconsin Woodchucks 9, Rockford Rivets 1, as we go to the bottom of the 8th on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. It's the bottom of the 8th inning in Wausau, Wisconsin, with the Woodchucks out in front of the Rockford Rivets by a score of 9-1. 8 runs coming across in the bottom of the 2nd inning is the story in this one. Ryan O'Reilly not lasting too full. He's charged for all 8 of those runs. Woodchucks also scoring 1 in the bottom of the 5th. Rivets with just 1 run in the 6th. They've scored 2 combined runs between 2 games here in Wausau. Jake Armstrong out for another inning of work, facing 8-9-1, and the first pitch to Tommy Delgado is a breaking ball called strike on the inner half. Delgado has a base knock today that came in that 2nd inning. Picked up 2 RBIs. Here's the 0-1, another curveball, this time lifted in the air to center field. Hawkins moves towards left, gets under it, and makes the grab above his Black Rivets cap. And that's the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. Armstrong is set down 4 straight, all on fly ball out. Safe to say he's a fly ball pitcher. His first Rivets appearance was certainly a fly ball outing, led up 2 big flies to blow the Rivets' 3-1 lead in Lakeshore. As Tyler Kehoe steps in, first pitch to the lefty. Ground ball up the middle, past the diving Jared Cushing into center. A valiant effort by the Rivets shortstop, but it's a 1-out single for Tyler Kehoe. Kehoe's second base knock of the day, he's 2 for 4, and here's the leadoff man, Jordan Schaefer, with the Chucks leading the Rivets 9-1. I realize now the Rivets could perhaps be a butt of a joke. Of course, a notorious sports line is insert team here blew a 3-1 lead. Cleveland Indians blew a 3-1 lead in the 2016 World Series. First pitch to Schaefer. Liner laced into center, and that falls in front of Hawkins. Kehoe moves up 90 to second base. Back-to-back singles for Wisconsin in the bottom of the 8th, and that brings up the 2-batter Jose Azara.
Now batting the shortstop,
Rivets certainly not blowing any sort of lead in this game. Woodchucks with 9 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. Rivets with 1 run on 6 hits and 1 error. Azara steps in 0 for 1 with a walk and a pop out to first base. And we're going to have a gotcha. We had a mound visit, chatting it up with the official scorer. Thanks to him for the assist. I thought for a moment we might have a pinch hitter. That is not the case. Azara is indeed in the box. Righty on righty in the first pitch. Curveball sent high in the air to center field. Hawkins back on it, on the track, at the wall, makes the grab. Kehoe tags up from second base and moves to third, while Schaefer retreats back to first base. And there's 2 down for C.J. Kafis.
now batting the first baseman, C.J. Kafis.
In case you're just joining us, I hope you found better things to do on your Father's Day. Rivets fans are probably disappointed with this one, down 9-1, surrendering 8 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Jake Armstrong sets on the right side of the rubber to the lefty Kafis, and the first pitch. Fastball catches the outer black, taken for a called strike 1. Kafis had a 2 RBI double in the 2nd inning, and he's hitless otherwise, grounded into a great double play turned by Ryan O'Reilly, the Rivets pitcher, in the 1st inning. Flied out to left in the 4th and is struck out swinging in the 6th. The pause and the 0-1 delivery from Armstrong. Slow breaking ball poked in the air to deep left field. Donahue on the track in front of the wall makes the grab a step in front of the barrier. And the inning comes to a close. So Jake Armstrong keeps the Chucks off the scoreboard once more, stranding runners on the corners. As we go to the 9th, last chance for the Rivets. They need 8 to tie and extend this ball game. It's Woodchucks 9, Rivets 1 on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. We're headed to the 9th inning at Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, with the Rivets trailing the Wisconsin Woodchucks 9-1. Rivets falling behind early, 8 runs in the bottom of the second. Killed them in this one. Rivets need 8 to tie. They'll send up the lower third of the order, starting with Grant McGill. Peter Fusick waits on deck, and Max Malley is in the hole against the hard-throwing righty Chandler Pohl, who's back out for another inning of work. Righty on righty, in the first pitch is a curveball that splits the plate, taken for a called strike one. Grant has had a tough day, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, looking to avoid the sombrero. 0-1, high chopper to shortstop, backhanded by Azara, long throw, in time, picked out of the dirt by C.J. Kafis, and the Rivets are down to their final 2 outs. Rivets trail 9-1 in the top of the 9th, sliding on a 3-game losing streak, soon to be 4, barring a miracle. Here's Peter Fusick, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Righty on righty, and the first pitch misses up and in. Hard fastball from Pohl. Fusick didn't move much. Pohl from the stretch with nobody on. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss from Fusick on a 2-seamer that tailed outside. It's 1-1. Fusick taps the plate twice, spins it around a little bit with the bat. 1-1. Off speed on the back door. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike 2. It's 1-2. The Rivets have struck out 14 times in this game, 12 of which off of Nate Madej. The 1-2, fastball misses high at the letters, ball 2. Nate Madej is certainly the story outside of that 8-run bottom of the second inning. Madej went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, just 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 12 strikeouts. 2-2, Fusick lays off a bender in the dirt. The count is full on the Rockford 8 batter. Fusick with good speed, somebody the Rivets would like to have on base. Madej in line for the win. Ryan O'Reilly on the hook for the loss. Went 1 2/3, surrendering all 8 of those second inning runs. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball right down the middle. And Fusick is rung up. Strikeout 15 for the Rivets today, and they're down to their final out.
Right fielder, Max Malley.
Second strikeout for Chandler Pohl as he looks to slam the door on this victory as he faces Max Malley, in the first pitch to him as a fastball that comes inside. And it's 1-0. Pohl, the big righty, standing at 6'5", out of SF Austin. Nods at his catcher, Colton Vincent, sets up inside, and the 1-0 is a breaking ball called strike. Pohl hit his spot there, and it's 1-1. A very gloomy and overcast day. Clouds moving across the horizon in northern Wisconsin. The rain has subsided a little bit. 1-1 to Malley, swing and a miss. Pohl pulled the string on him. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rivets down to their final strike, looking to avoid a 4-game losing skid. The kick and the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt, dropped by Vincent. He's going to toss down to first base, and the ball game is over. The Wisconsin Woodchucks sweep a 2-game series from the Rockford Rivets, and the Rivets have now dropped 4 straight as the final score is Woodchucks 9, Rivets 1. We'll be back from Athletic Park in a moment to get you the final lines on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Welcome back to Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin, where the Rivets have just fallen to the Wisconsin Woodchucks by a final of 9-1. Here are the final lines. First for the victorious Wisconsin Woodchucks, 9 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, and 6 left on base. For the Rivets, 1 run on 6 hits, 1 error, and 7 left. Pitchers of record in this ball game, Nate Madej is the winner. He went 6 innings, surrendering 5 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and a whopping 12 strikeouts. And the loser is Ryan O'Reilly, who could not make it out of the 2nd inning. He surrendered 8 runs on 8 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. He falls to 0-1 on the season. Nobody gets the save in this blowout victory for the Woodchucks. The Rivets fall to 8-12 on the season. It's their 4th straight loss, while the Woodchucks improve to 12-7 to remain seated in 1st place in the Great Lakes West Division. Rivets and Chucks getting this ball game done in 3 hours and 48 minutes in front of a crowd of 545 on this gloomy Father's Day in northern Wisconsin. Up next for both these squads, the Rivets will head back to Rockford tonight to start a 6-game homestand. I bet they'll be happy about that. They will take on the Kokomo Jackrabbits for 2 games starting tomorrow night at 6:05. You can catch my call, that one, on the Northwoods League Baseball Network. As for the Woodchucks, they're going to play Green Bay for a 3-game set. First with 1 game at CCU Park and then 2 games here at Athletic Park, making up a suspended game for game 1 of a doubleheader on Tuesday. The next time these 2 teams meet will be on July 10th and 11th in Rockford, and the Rivets will look to pull even 2-2 in the season series. So that about does it from Athletic Park in Wausau, Wisconsin on this Sunday afternoon. This is Larry Larson saying thank you for listening, and thank you to all the dads out there. Shout out to my dad for teaching me the game of baseball and instilling all my baseball knowledge in me. So we thank him every day, and especially on this Father's Day. Again, the final, Rivets fall to the Wisconsin Woodchucks 9-1 and drop their 4th straight game. This has been a presentation of the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. So long, everybody.